Hi, this is David speaking from sydneywalking.com. We've got a Balmain walk coming up very soon, covering Balmain East. But just take a look at this statue behind me. You'll see there, this is Thomas More, who was one of the pioneers in Australia back in the early days. Now, Thomas More, there's his picture there right in front of you. Thomas More was one of the pioneers that was a big contributor to the early colony. So what does he have to do with East Balmain? Well, you'll have to come along on the walk and find out. So what else is there? This is David speaking. I'm here in Nurses Walk, which is where the First Fleet colony of the British colony days, back in 1788 when they first landed not far from here in what's known as First Fleet Park, right down here near Circular Quay. I'm right here at the rocks, which is where there was a tent hospital. There was just a whole lot of tents here, and there was a lot of sick people as a result of the long journey and very little proper food and vitamin C and so forth, and vegetables and fruit as we know it, in order to have a happy, healthy lifestyle. It was a very long and enduring trip. And also when they arrived here, there was very little that they could survive on, so it was very harsh the first few weeks of arrival here in Sydney. Now, right behind me here, you'll see that, on the Alexander boat was where Balmain actually came in on the Alexander, and as a result of that, he was able to render quite a lot of assistance to those First Fleet people. So what does that have to do with what happened with the suburb named after Balmain? Well, you're going to have to wait until the walk, and I'll reveal a little bit more. I'm here at Observatory Hill, just right next to where the Sydney Harbour Bridge is, and we've got a view here in front of the camera here, which is of Balmain East, and I'll just take the camera around a slight distance there, all the way back to White Bay, where you can see everything there, where there's a shipping dock and so forth. So this gives you a little bit of an idea of the suburb. However, what we're going to be doing is taking a closer look at some of the more interesting historical sites, some of the old buildings, some of the passageways that people used to walk through back in the early days of East Balmain, and a little bit about the creation of the suburb itself and why it became what it is today. We'll be also having a look at some of the most interesting updates to the site, plus some very interesting cafes that have opened up in the area. So I'm looking forward to seeing you. This is David speaking from sydneywalking.com. That's David speaking from sydneywalking.com. Please join us on this Balmain East walk coming up very soon.